Hey guys, Jason here. So, just not sure what to say because everything that I say usually comes from the top of my head, right? So, as you see what you see on the screen there, you'll see the name and all that sort of stuff, and you'll see the how the divinity works when it comes to the Bible. And I think the whole point of what people are missing, Christians I'm speaking about, is like they care not to look at the Bible and what they're looking at and what is contaminating their brains, which is, possessing their brains and their minds, is the Christ idol, guys. Right? Now, I want you to understand something very clearly. Every day you need something to sustain your body with. Okay? I'm sure you actually understand what I'm talking about. Does anybody have a clue that what that may be? Right? Every day, everyone around the world gathers around a water cooler, whether it be your work, whether it be uh, you're just grabbing at a water fountain, or you're at school, or at a university, or wherever you are, there is water. Okay? And the message I've always been trying to say is, okay, we know that Jesus told you, okay, build your house upon the rock. Okay? The rock is the commandments, God's voice, God's spirit, otherwise known as Jesus, the law in the flesh. Okay? This is what people don't understand. Okay? So when God gave the commandments in Exodus 20, he said, have no other gods before me. Okay? Does anybody know what number of that verse is? Exodus 20, verse 3. And I keep telling you the number 23. It's Michael Jordan's number. Jesus was baptized in the Jordan. The angel Michael destroys the devil. I don't know how much more I can explain this to you because I'm making it as simple as I can. But the whole point is, what I'm trying to say is, okay, every day, every person around the world drinks water. It's necessary for life. You take away that water, everything dries up. As we see the drought that's happening throughout the world, okay, which was prophesied in the Bible. So this is the point of my message. The Christians are in the delusion of a Christ idol. They're imaginary figment of their imagination created by men. I don't know if any religion understands the damage you're doing when you're worshiping something that's not real. Every day you go to the stream or take a bath or take a shower, that water cleanses you. That water nourishes you. That water gives plants reasons to live. Every animal around the world drinks water. If you don't know the point of my message, and the cross and Jesus is not what you think it actually is. Okay? What man is doing today to our environment is destroying and polluting the waters. Okay? So this is the adverse actions what man does when they're in idolatry. They forget what's real and what's important and what is needed for life, but instead they assume a magical image, or like I said, Christ's idol is coming to save them. I don't know if anybody's understanding this message, that you really think that, like, what am I doing with my life, with all these Christians and these people that are just, in this delusion, that imagining that this Christ idol is going to come floating down from the clouds, which, when you're thinking about it, the only thing that comes down from the clouds is rain. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand what photosynthesis is. We all learned about it in grade school. Everybody forgot about it. So when we look at the story of Jesus and the cross, you're not seeing it the way you're supposed to see it, through the eyes of God. The Bible is an instruction book on how to take care of the planet. Gives you every detail and gives you everything, because it's about taking care of our home. And that's what the whole point of the message is. But what happened was, the Hebrews came along and created a religion. Put everybody in a mass delusion. And that delusion is causing everybody to go to war with one another. Right? And when you look and when you're destroying the environment, whether it be war, mining, right? Deforestation. Deforestation is the biggest one. Because what they don't understand is it's the trees that protect us from the sun's rays. Okay? Have you not been outside on a real hot, sweltering day and you seek shelter from a tree? And the tree gives you a sense of coolness. A breeze, if a breeze comes by, you just feel that cool on that hot day. Has anybody felt that? And then your throat becomes parched. So you look around and the first thing that you see is your water bottle. And you take a drink from that water. And that nourishes you. And then you disregard this water because your corporations, the delusion that you're in, is destroying and polluting the water that's in your drinking, that's in front of you. So when we look at the story of the cross and Jesus, the cross is deforestation. And when you take away the trees, results in a much drier climate, hotter, which causes the earth to dry up. And when the earth dries up, we have earthquakes that happen. And when you heat something up, for example, if you put something on a stove, the element heats up, causes things to boil. That's exactly what the sun does to earth right at this moment. Because the lack of trees. The trees are our shield. The moisture that's produced from the trees creates a barrier to protect against the sun scorching rays. You take away those trees, the tree of life, results in man dying throughout extinction on global levels, which is happening right now. This is the choice that we are all facing right now. We are actually in the 7th day, which results in entering into the 8th day of the final choice that we all have to make throughout the world. I'm not doing this for my own glory. I'm not doing this for anybody's sake. I'm doing this for the children that are going to be future generations that want to survive. What do they have left 10 years from now when there's no trees. It's going to be a much darker climate. This generation of corporate pigs, because the corporation are ignorant assholes. They care about their big fancy trucks because that's their idol. And every day they take that same drink of water, not realizing that water is going to be gone one day. So I suggest you appreciate the water today, guys. Because that water is life. And these religions out there right now, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, you need to grow up. Because your religion is not going to save you. You're fake. You're pretending to be something that you are not. God created you to be a human being. Act like it. When Jesus said, love thy neighbor, he got that directly from what God had said. And clearly right now, nobody is loving their neighbor. Because everybody thinks they know what's going on in this earth, which is causing some people to get upset. And I'm right now I'm speaking directly to the Christians right now, the Christian community. You see them on their YouTube channels. They do not care. They just want to escape. They just want, Jesus to come save them, which is not happening. You would think that you would see people dropping like flies throughout the world, Christians, and they would understand that people die and that's it. And that's the tragedy. Not understanding what God's truth is. And that's what they're missing. That's what I'm trying to show you. So there's a choice that everybody is going to have to make one day in their minds. Are you going to live a physical existence, or are you going to live a spiritual existence? And the spiritual is understanding your actual, what you can, I'm giving you guys new eyes, basically what I'm doing. Eyes to see. Right? So you can look at your environment. The tree, look at the trees today. They're suffering. They're dying. And once the tree is gone, we have the symbol that the Christians are waiting for, the story of the cross and Jesus. By then, it's already too late. So, but that's your idol. That's what you're worshiping. A piece, a trinket that has no meaning. That's not going to do shit for you. You can change the planet and you can change the way the story goes. You can start taking care of your environment. That's not much to ask. Right? And then each time that you drink that water from that water bottle that you have, you can realize the importance of why water is life. Right? So that's what's going on right now. It's a war between the rich and the poor. Right? Materialism and spiritualism. Okay? Because that's the point that we're in right now. And if people think that, they can continue the way they're acting, guess what? God wins in the end anyways. God destroys the idols. That's a fact. That's a promise. God's promise is to restore earth God's promise is to destroy the idols. And the religions out there, you better get out of God's way. Because his word, it's going to stand for the testament of time, his commands. And human beings, you're only here for a short time. So I suggest making whatever that you want to do your amends today and start obeying what God is trying to show you and get you to understand is taking care of his planet, of his creation. Because you are the creation. Don't think these corporations and Donald Trump is the king when he's not. You're seeing who he is. And that's the whole point. Same with fake Israel. You're seeing them for who they really are. Because it's not about countries. It's not about religions. It's not about anything that man creates, but what God had created. And that's what people have forgotten. And the most important thing to take care of is water. So anyways, I thought I'd drop that quick video because I was thinking, I was trying to think, how can I explain myself really clear as in water, right? And then the thought of David popped into my head. And then I could just imagine, David, a little shepherd boy, right? Knobby knees and all, right? And, all he had was a sling, right? And his shepherd's staff, right? Because that's what he was. He was just a shepherd and he played music, okay? But he always was around the water. He knew the importance of it, right? And then when he picked up those 5 smooth stones, and it only took 1 stone to defeat the giant, the question people don't ask about, the spiritual significance of it, what made the stones so smooth, right? Because David picked the smooth stone from the water. He drew it from the water. So hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It all goes back to water, right? And this is the name. That's all I'm showing you. Okay? I don't have to explain who I am. I'm showing you who I am. Like I've been saying, I've been destined to do this, and this is what this is how my brain, when I was a kid, this is all in my brain. As I grew up, I learned how to navigate the Bible, right? Just by how I'm showing you today, just writing it down exactly how it's supposed to be written down, which is the way you're supposed to understand it. We're not there to interpret the mind of God. We are to understand the mind of God. I hope that makes sense, because I'm trying to be as patient as I can, considering all the tyranny, all the lying, all the stealing of God's. Everything belongs to God, basically, guys. This planet, this earth, this creation, everything. So don't assume that you're above God, because you're not. Just because so-and-so said this and said that. Just because Paul said, you better keep your Christ idol, right? And, Christ is the one that comes and saves you. No. It serves the devil's interest in order to take his souls with him. So he needs company. The devil needs company. So if you want to go that side, that's your choice. That is capitalism. Okay? You want to be with those group of people, right? Even though there should be no separation, there should be no division. But I'm hoping that, even these people that are in these corporations can wake up, because without the people, these CEOs will crumble. That's why I said they built their tower so high up that God can take it away, just like that, right? And it all depends with the people, right? And that's what people have forgotten also, is that when the people join together, they're an unstoppable force. That's what the Bible predicts was going to happen, is that God's going to gather the sticks. Just like like I'm sure you all heard that, that story, one stick, you could break it, no problem. But many sticks, you can't break it, right? So you need to think of those terms, right? That by understanding this word, we all get the same understanding, and then we're all those sticks. Okay? So anyways, I appreciate you all. Love the Lord your God with your heart, mind, and soul. I didn't come to take away the law of the prophets. I came to fulfill the law. Thank you, and have yourself a very good day.